With sparkling eyes and aspirations beyond her little village, a teenager flips through her phone. Attention, likes, and followers were all important. However, stress was growing behind the posts and the well-curated lives. Beneath the surface, secrets, jealousy, and obsession were simmering. A quick drive that evening would make all the difference. Two young men would never come home, and the teen chasing fame would become a murderer. On the surface, Mackenzie Shirilla looked like any teenager chasing a dream. Her Instagram and TikTok were full of bright lights, trendy outfits, and perfectly staged selfies. She was building a persona, fun, playful, harmless. However, her life revealed a more sinister tale behind the filters. Her reality included drug usage, reckless driving, and dangerous stunts, all of which she frequently broadcast online to get attention. She was delightful in public, but behind closed doors, she was controlling and jealous, which kept the true threat hidden until it was far too late. The young man, Dominic Russo, dreamed the dreams that young men dream. His future still ahead of him. His family was everything, and he loved music. Like any young couple, they began with late-night texting, shared interests, and first love. But soon enough, anxiety replaced happiness. When their disagreements became more frequent, coupled with jealousy and possessiveness, Dominic tried to retreat into himself. Witnesses recounted control that appeared unavoidable, threats, and public outbursts. Along for the ride that night was Davian Flanagan, Dominic's loyal friend, kind, full of life, and trusted by his family. Davian had no part in the conflict. He simply joined Dominic, unaware of the danger quietly building around them. In the days before July 31st, 2022, a disturbing pattern emerged. Mackenzie wasn't just a teenager in a turbulent relationship. She was planning. GPS data revealed 7 identical drives along Progress Drive. Each trip was deliberate, timed, and precise. Investigators concluded she wasn't exploring, she was studying the road, every curve, every potential crash scenario. Videos from her social media showed controlled high-speed driving. She pushed the limits of the vehicle, recorded it for attention, and implied it was unsafe via Snapchat and TikTok posts. Friends remembered the previous increase in arguments with Dominic, infused with anger, jealousy, and desperate attempts of control. Every practice run, every irresponsible video, every threat revealed one chilling truth. This was no accident. It was calculated. On July 31st, 2022, the night started like any typical summer evening. Mackenzie picked up Dominic and Davian in the evening. It was determined by the video footage and witnesses that the last observed actions of the three friends, who had been laughing and joking in the car, had no idea that danger was ahead. At the time, they each appeared awake and fully aware, no indications of any medical episodes or foreign influence. The way to Progress Drive began ordinarily. Mackenzie continued to maintain her control of the vehicle and safe driving practices while stopping, accelerating, or signaling. Concerning to investigators was that she was driving deliberately and well controlled. She showed no signs of dizziness, fainting, or decline in her mental state of health. When the car turned onto Industrial Road, forensic analysis confirmed the facts. The steering was steady, the car didn't sway. There were no sudden stops, no erratic movements, and no indicators of a medical emergency. Every decision behind the wheel was intentional. And then came the fatal acceleration. Data recovered from the vehicle showed her speed climbing sharply, reaching 90 to 100 miles per hour along a straight stretch of road. There was no braking, no attempt to swerve, no last-minute correction. The car barreled forward with one purpose. The moment of impact was instantaneous. 2 lives were taken, and 1 survivor would carry the aftermath. This wasn't an accident caused by inexperience or a medical condition. Every detail, the steady steering, the deliberate trajectory, the speed, painted one terrifying truth. The final drive had been calculated. When first responders arrived, the scene was grim. Dominic Russo and Davian Flanagan were dead. Mackenzie sat conscious in the driver's seat, bruised and shaken, but alive. The car rested at an angle, front crushed, no skid marks, no mechanical failures. Steering, brakes, and airbags worked, seatbelts were used, and the straight-line impact pointed to deliberate acceleration. From the start, the truth was clear. This was no ordinary crash. Mackenzie claimed, "I must have passed out," trying to blame her POTS diagnosis, but the evidence told a different story.
You're under arrest for aggravated murder ×2, okay? Nobody's gonna ask you any questions?
In the weeks after the crash, her actions spoke louder than any defense claim. She continued to be active on social media, sharing her memories and gaining a lot of followers and modeling opportunities, while the families of both Dominic and Davian were grieving. Only 3 months later, she posted a video on Halloween 2022 that shocked everyone. Mackenzie posted a video of herself dancing in a corpse costume, fake blood smeared across her face. The video sparked outrage and deepened the trauma for the victims' families, revealing a chilling lack of empathy.
We feel that Mackenzie is a threat to both herself and the community if she were to be released.
When Mackenzie's trial began, the courtroom felt suffocating, tense, as if every breath was measured. The prosecution left nothing to chance, presenting a case so thorough it was almost surgical in its precision.
She chose the means and the method to follow through. And she planned and purposefully executed the events of July 31st, 2022.
First, the GPS data confirmed that she'd made 7 identical practice runs along Progress Drive, clearly showing premeditation. Then, the surveillance video showed her at first controlled, even purposeful driving, then her sudden acceleration, making it clear that each action was deliberate and she was carefully making all of the choices. Witnesses shared evidence of her emotional instability, her threats directed at Dominic, and her reckless social media posts to provide additional evidence of her intent. Crash reconstruction researchers illustrated the physics of impact and indicated she had designed the crash for maximum jeopardy for her passengers and herself. The prosecution tied it all to a motive, a relationship she couldn't control, a plan meticulously executed rather than a tragic accident.
But also that just after the accident, Mackenzie renewed her driver's license and again denied any medical condition.
The defense clung to a single lifeline, Mackenzie's POTS condition. They highlighted her injuries, claimed memory loss, presented her as frail, and suggested a blackout could account for the collision. But when examined closely, every assertion fell apart. Surveillance, GPS records, and witness testimony left the courtroom unmoved. Every defense argument exposed as inadequate.
And even in a murder-suicide attempt, when the perpetrator executing the plan survives, the other death or deaths are still murder.
Then came Judge Nancy Margaret. Her words struck the courtroom with the weight of inevitability, underscoring that the crash footage revealed a deliberate, calculated act, every action and decision carried out with deadly intent. With calm, steady confidence, she broke down Mackenzie's goal, her approach, what inspired her, and every decision she made. And by the end, it was clear every defense argument fell apart. On August 14, 2023, nearly a year after the crash, the courtroom held its breath as the verdict was announced. Mackenzie Shirilla was found guilty on all counts: murder, felonious assault, aggravated vehicular homicide, drug possession, and possessing criminal tools.
So she's sentenced on count 2, the murder of Davion Flanagan, 15 years to life. She's sentenced on count 1, the murder of Dominic Russo, 15 years to life, to be served concurrent to each other.
The judge sentenced her to 15 years to life, with the earliest parole set for October 2037. She was immediately remanded to the Ohio Reformatory for Women, beginning a decades-long sentence.
I also pray that Mackenzie will find true remorse in her heart and true repentance.
The victims' families spoke through their grief, mourning the lives stolen and the futures that would never be. For Dominic and his friend, justice had finally been served. Even as the courtroom emptied, the lives lost and future stolen lingered as a stark reminder of Mackenzie's actions. If this video shocked you, then like, share, and subscribe for more true crime stories.